All right, Leos, welcome into your March monthly reading. So this is kind of a fusion of astrology, intuitive kind of just energy readings that I'm picking up for you guys, and then the tarot and oracle cards. So just a disclaimer, I am not a professional, or my wheelhouse is not astrology, but I do really enjoy astrology. I feel like it definitely is a tool that can help us get some awareness and understanding about the external world and the energies and why things are happening. It kind of gives us a little bit of baseline. It's not like be all end all, right? It's kind of like any readings. Like, just because you hear something in your reading about something that could happen, it doesn't mean it will, but it does give you some context about the shifts, what's supporting us, what maybe could be a challenge, things to look out for, or using the energies to help us, again, navigate things with more ease, avoid challenges, things like that. So, welcome if you're new. So March, wow, I can't believe we're already here. We got the spring equinox coming up, right? And so the winter is coming to a close. So that's kind of exciting. You know, it felt like yesterday we were in December talking about 2026. And talking about all the big events and leading up through, you know, the spring equinox, and we're already here. So how are you all faring? Let me know in the comments how you all handled the first kind of quarter, I guess, of 2026. You know, this was a big one. February was huge. I don't know how you guys felt, but a lot happened in February. I mean, I think we can even see it in the external world. A lot has happened. A lot is coming to the surface. It is definitely the year of disclosure. The frequency of the planet is high enough to where now anything that is, you know, underpinning, that's dense, anything secrets that are dark or that are nefarious or that aren't serving us are definitely coming to the surface. We had that Neptune-Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees Aries on February 20th. So that just happened, right? I am filming this the end of February. So that just happened. That energy obviously is going to continue. It's not like that was a cosmic reset, right? That alignment, that aspects, that day, we haven't seen in over 6,000 years. So there's nothing to compare it to. Right? So it's kind of like it's this unknown territory, and it's not like, you know, everything's going to happen on that one day, but it initiates that shift, and it's just going to continue to expand and unfold and see how that shifts reality. Yeah, and we are in the year of the fire horse, so there's a lot of fire energy right now. So for you Leos, you are also fellow fire signs, so you're going to be feeling this. And it's just, there's a lot of fire energy is very action oriented. It's very passionate. It's about, you know, inspiration, creativity, power, confidence. So you definitely are going to be feeling that. I'm also feeling for Leos, like putting yourself out there. And that is definitely your, you know, your thing, Leo. It's about you, you know, putting your authentic self forward. Being who you truly are, shining and letting people see you, and whether it's your voice or your gifts or your abilities, your creativity, your skill set, your knowledge, it's time for you to really hone in on that and put yourself out there. So let's see here. What else? Just talking a little bit about trends here. So the Three of Swords, swords in general have been popping up, like they're all over the place. The swords energy. So the swords is about, you know, the mind, intellect, communication. It's about knowledge and information, clarity, truth. So a lot of swords have been coming out. The Three of Swords has been coming out a lot. And also when I'm viewing other people's channels, a few people also said the same thing about the Three of Swords. So that's synchronistic for this month. And how I've been kind of seeing that Three of Swords and what that means is we are really shifting. There's a huge like radical change happening right now. And even though maybe you're not seeing it happen, some of you probably are. If you're seeing small changes, that's just a sign. And what it's doing is it's bringing up a sense of nostalgia for what was. And even though most of us do want some change, there is something about sentiment or about just kind of grieving or a little bit of sadness about, letting go of the past, letting go of the nostalgia. And there obviously, even though, we have our challenges and we're in maybe stagnancy or situations that we want to change, when the shift is occurring, sometimes there's still that sometimes what you really remember is the good things and the things that brought some sort of sweetness to you or peace or something, whatever, that the good in the bad, right? We see the good in the bad, and I'm seeing a little bit of just sadness and grief about that, and that's okay. I think we're going through such a cosmic shift that we're kind of in this unknown of this whole new reality unfolding, either personally or collectively. And it's we're ready, but we're also looking at what was as, there is some good things, there is some nostalgia there is some sentiment, and we can appreciate and be grateful for what we've been through. All right, let's get started for Leos and see. I'm going to pull some oracles first for March. So you got the Security card and Victory. Leo's, a big thing is overcoming that comfort zone. There is changes in regards to your foundation of what you believe, okay? Keyword believe, was a sense of security or a place of security for yourself. And that's what I just talked about, is there's changes occurring, and it can bring up a little bit of instability, right? When we're shifting, when we're changing, when something's changing. And there was a false sense of security to it. It was kind of a comfort zone. You felt kind of safe, but you also could have felt stagnant. You could have felt, this isn't, doing it for me anymore. This isn't bringing joy, fulfillment, contentment to my soul. And you are, kind of riding off into the sunset away from this old. With Victory here, there is a sense of you've overcome something. You're overcoming belief systems, and you're finding some sense of freedom and liberation from the past, I feel. And then we have new beginnings. Yeah, definitely. So you are riding off in your chariot to some sort of something new here, some new beginning. And the Temple Path. So this is a new beginning that leads you more along the lines of what your soul is calling for you to do, what you've been maybe something that you were meant to do here that you haven't done yet. And it definitely is more in alignment with your soul. I do feel like a lot of you are going through potentially some sort of major, conscious, kind of a little bit of enlightenment, like going through an awakening and realizing, and maybe this is what's happening too, is you're realizing you're really seeing clearly the belief systems that were holding you back because you were looking for a sense of safety and security in the world. So whether it could be holding on, looking back at your patterns in your relationships, or a relationship you've been in a long time that maybe is ending or changing. This could be sticking to, a type of job or career, or even staying in a location because of, again, this is what I was told all my life that I'm supposed to do, or this is, the type of relationship I'm supposed to have, or, I need to make a certain amount of money. You're kind of freeing yourself from those things, because those are all false belief systems. Those were programs that people, kind of pushed into you, right? You were manipulated to believe that, and we all are, right? That's just being human here. We have these templates that are like, okay, this is a template that, whether it's one person, usually people in power, or religions or families, are like, this is the template you have to live by. And that's passed down generationally. And, whether it's from our families, from our cultures, from our societies, our governments. And it's like we had to live by these rules. But we're, as we awaken, as the planet's vibration increases, we are actually breaking those templates. We're breaking those templates. We're realizing that those don't serve us. Those aren't our truth. Those don't provide safety, security, happiness, fulfillment. In actuality, they held us back, and it's used to control us. So, that's the thing to liberation. And the true meaning of freedom is to choose in every single moment, to be able to choose for ourselves what aligns with us, and living a life in every single moment that, in that moment we're being called to live, following our greatest excitement, not having limits or limitations. So it's kind of exciting. That's pretty big, just in these oracle cards for you Leos. All right, so we have the Page of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Hanged Man. So we are getting these new ideas. Like the page is coming in. Like we're stepping forward out of, again, things. We're taking risks. We're taking chances. We're trying new things. We're going in new directions. We're getting inspired by things, and we're getting new ideas about what our truth is and what we want to do, how we want to apply it to our life. But then we have a little bit of resistance here coming in, and I feel like that's the old beliefs still kind of hanging on. There's parts of us that are like, again, these parts are stuck in fear and due to their beliefs, and they're kind of like, wait a minute, like there's a little bit of conflict of like, you want to, take a leap of faith or do things differently, but there's parts of you that are kind of like nagging at you, like, oh, I wouldn't do that. It's not safe. It's not safe to go out of our comfort zone. You've never done that before. Like, that could be risky or whatever. Or you can't leave this career because, if you don't have this, then you don't have a steady income. And then what could happen? You could also have actually people in your life trying to, it's like they're in your ear as well, telling you what they want or what they expect of you or what they think you should do. And you're definitely, that has kind of kept you stuck. I think you've listened to those things, whether it's things going on in your internally, right? Or if it's other people, you've listened and you've kind of stayed, but it's made you feel, you've been stagnant in your life. You haven't expanded. There hasn't been a lot of growth or change. You're not bringing in new levels of abundance or fulfillment, really going after what you love. So that's that Hanged Man and Five of Wands. But what I do, the Hanged Man, though, is also on a positive, is saying it's about enlightenment again. And I did mention earlier that you could be going through kind of this enlightenment period. And I think that's what the Hanged Man is also saying, is you're seeing things differently now. You're gaining a whole different perspective about, your life and kind of the choices you made, and also what's going on in your reality, and realizing like, oh, I'm starting to see all these things that I didn't see before that have kind of been holding me back. Ace of Swords. Yes, there's that clarity coming in. Three of Pentacles And the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, 2 aces here. So here's your new beginnings, right? You got like a triangle here of new beginnings. I also heard with the Ace of Swords, I think there's some major information coming in that you get that's really, again, shifting your awareness, bringing you clarity, opening up some new ideas. It's like you're opening up to things that you maybe, like I said, you weren't open to before. And 3 of Pentacles, that card can also be about putting yourself out there. Like this person is doing this kind of hobby or craft. And it's like, it could be something that you're doing with other people, because this card can also represent collaboration, teamwork, working together to, again, something that's successful, putting yourself out there, you know, that creates some sense of, not a sense, but creates more real stability for you. And then you have this opportunity here. So this is an actual opportunity in the physical that's going to present itself, potentially for you to put something out there that you have to offer, or an opportunity to work with some people on a project or collaborate on something that, again, really is more aligned with something you want to do. All right, we got the Emperor here, the Devil, there's that fear, and the Chariot. 2, you know, I referenced the Chariot, so makes sense. So you are, at the end of the day, the outcome here is the Chariot, which is about really making some movements. Things are going to move a lot faster in March for you. So things are going to start moving forward. There's going to be some change. And there could be a little bit of, you know, the reaction here with this first row is sometimes when things happen too fast, it's like, whoa, 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 like you get a little like discombobulated or a little bit, there are some fears that can come up like, whoa, I didn't think this was going to happen so fast. Because it's like, there's a little bit of resistance here, and then there's all this Ace energy, so there's something that's presenting itself, there's new beginnings, there's some opportunity, there's clarity, there's information coming in, and it's like, to me, the Emperor and the Devil's a little bit of like, that devil again is on your shoulder, the fear's coming in, like, yo, this could fail, or, you know, do you really want to put yourself out there? What could be that you could fail, you could look stupid in front of people, like, a little bit of like insecurity, but like you're going to do it anyways. To me, with the Chariot, things are moving forward. You can't stop the momentum at this point. You kind of have to just go with the flow, surrender to it. And you're going to overcome the Devil because you got the Victory card, you got the Chariot here, and so you're moving forward much wiser because you have a new level of awareness than you did in the past. And you're doing it a lot more consciously. You're doing it in a way that's more aligned with your truth, instead of doing things that you think you have to do it because other people told you, or because you actually have people in your life that want you to do something. So you are gaining the Emperor here, there's a sense of power that you're really starting to harness and feel, and gaining the power to realize, like, I get to make my own choices. I get to build my own life. And how do I want that to look without other people in your ear telling you? And it's about you being you, and you standing in your own life and what life wants you to do. 5 of Swords. Yeah, there's a sense of either this is you, again, there's some of you could have kind of some control issues in the past, or that was a sense of how you stayed safe, is by kind of, you know, again, maintaining some sense of control. Maybe there was self-manipulation here, self-gaslighting, like, well, you're not good enough, you can't do this, you know, there's other people that do what you do a lot better, and or there's too many people out there doing this, it's saturated, so why are you going to even try? Like, there's a little bit of in your head, like he, in this deck, he's kind of like has his hand on his head, like overthinking too much. For some of you, this could be someone in your life that's kind of had some sense of control over you, or there's some manipulation going on, patterns here, and it's like you're freeing yourself from that. But this is all in the mind, right? So once you're conscious of it and aware, you can change it. So what's the Five of Wands, Hanged Man about? The Lovers. Yeah, so this could be a choice, and you're conflicted here. It could be around, for some of you, this could be around a relationship. There's conflict here, and you're feeling stuck. So this could be a relationship you've been in that has kind of run its course. Like I said, you've kind of felt stuck in this relationship. You're constantly conflicted and you've been for a while. There could be a lot of conflict within the relationship, just like a lot of like differing ideas, differing values, differing, just there's a lot of differences that each one of you are just trying to get what you want out of it, but you're kind of not on the same page, and that's where this manipulation could come in. Ace of Swords, Hierophant. Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, Knight of Cups. So yeah, there could be a new opportunity for a new relationship here, because with the Ace, that's a new, and you have the Knight of Cups. So this is someone new coming in. The clarity. To me, this too could be clarity around. The Hierophant can refer to, symbolize like traditional things. So it's like you're getting a lot of clarity around, like these are the templates I talked about. These are the old templates that you're kind of really getting clarity, and you're finding your own truth that, yeah, these templates were placed upon me, and I don't believe in them anymore. They aren't my truth. They don't align with my authenticity. So you are really cutting through anything, any templates, traditional ways of thinking, traditional ways of doing things, even the traditional relationships. Let me get one more. Eight of Wands. So you definitely are taking off here. And, something again in this card, it's almost that what I just heard was like you're taking off from the surface level stuff, and you're moving up these stairs to higher dimensional stuff, to higher frequency stuff. And that can be encompassing of relationships, of experiences, of like really following the calling of your soul instead of just staying back, holding yourself back, even though everything inside you is like calling for you to do certain things. Like the Eight of Wands is about movement. It could be about travel, about moving. It can also be about love, but like I feel like there's something pulling you. There's something pulling you. And that's going to be different for every one of you, but you could be pulled to move. You could be being pulled to move, or pulled to travel somewhere. It could be anything, but there is something about you getting real clarity at the truth coming in for you. Okay, well, Leos, you're going to have a fast-moving month. You're going to have to make some decisions. You're going to get some clarity and truth around things, and you're really going to start cutting through anything that just doesn't work for you anymore. And you're moving forward. You are going to overcome. There's going to be the old fears and the old beliefs that are going to come up. But you, based on the cards and obviously our discussion here, you are going to overcome these, and you're going to face them in the face. You're going to acknowledge them, but it's like It's the whole thing of facing your fears, but doing it anyways. Or feeling the fear and doing it anyways is kind of your theme this month. And you're fast moving forward to some new stuff here. So I like it. I like this for you guys. We'll close it on that. You guys have a great month. Really enjoy your spring equinox. Do the things. This is the true new year of nature. This should be our true new year. So definitely celebrate. Do the things. We are moving out of the season of kind of that, hibernation, of slowness, of peace, of kind of rest and all that stuff. And now we're blossoming and we're awakening again. And this is a time where the energies are going to start to, again, get quicker. We're going to feel more alive. We're going to feel more motivated and inspired to take action and get out in nature. So definitely take advantage of that and enjoy. But I will see you guys in the next reading. Bye for now.